Live now?
Okay. What's saying going live, but it's still doing this. Now you're live.
Shalom, Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K. coming out of 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. We have been teaching this truth since 1969. We are here to teach those that are Negro, Indian, Hispanic descent, according to the Bible, that we are the 12 tribes, the children of Israel, these lost tribes that the Bible has always talked about and who God and Christ is only for. So tonight's class is about brotherhood. So the first thing that I'm going to do is explain, according to definition, was a brother. It says kinsman, one who shares with another a common or racial origin. A man who is from the same group or country as you, one related to another by common interests or ties, one of a type similar to another. So one of the scriptures that I want to give first, if you will, Baba Kushar, is 1 Peter 2 and 17. 1 Peter 2 and 17. Let me know when you got it.
Okay, sir.
Read.
1 Peter 2 and 17. Honor all men.
It says what?
Honor all men.
It says honor all men. The men that it is talked about is those that are wisdom, that are leading the people in the right way, which is commanding GEN.YAHANNA and those with rank and authority in the I.S.U.P.K, leading Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians to this truth of the Bible. It's not talking about just somebody out in the street, because who Christ was talking to? Christ was talking to the priests and prophets of God so that they could be in authority and also in wisdom enough to lead the people to righteousness, which the I.S.U.P.K is doing right now. It says honor all men, those men of wisdom in the truth in the I.S.U.P.K. Read on.
Love the brotherhood.
Love the what?
The brotherhood.
No, I think you're supposed to hate your brother like the Christian church teach you to do.
Sir. Love the brotherhood.
It says love the what?
The brotherhood.
Love the brotherhood. That brother or that fellow Israelite that's next to you, that is your brother. No matter what tribe you are from, it says to love the brotherhood. Love that man that is directly next to you, which is from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's not talking about somebody that's of a different nationality, that's not of the same origin, that is not the same race. It's talking about those Negro, Indians, Hispanic descent of the 12 tribes. That brotherhood from the nation of Israel. Love that brother. Love the brotherhood. Read on.
Fear God.
It says what?
Fear God.
It says fear God. You're going to fear the Most High. How? By keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. And what kind of commandments that we have? Because there's over 600 and something commandments. But it says fear the Most High. How you going to do that? By keeping the commandments. Go ahead.
Honor the king.
Honor the who?
The king.
Honor the king. Who is our king? Our king is not somebody over there in London, England, or that's on that fake throne that seeks power through rape, robbery, or murder, like the king and queen over there in England do. But it's talking about their king, which is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, Jesus Christ in the English, which means anointed savior. That's the king that it's talking about. Read on.
1 Peter 2 and 18. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear.
It says what?
Be subject to your masters with all fear.
It's talking about servants. Who are we serving? We serving the Most High in Christ. It says servants. Be subject to your masters with all fear. Talking about doing as you are told according to the scriptures. And those masters are those in knowledge and wisdom that the Most High and Christ has set up over you. Those that's of your tribe, that's of your nation, that has that rank and authority. According to Deuteronomy 1 and 15. Those are the masters that is talking about, those in authority and rank over you. That's in the I.S.U.P.K.
All right, sir.
Read on.
Not only to the good and gentle, but not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward.
It says not only to the good and gentle, but also to the forward. Don't just be humble and, want to do stuff for the brothers that's over you in rank and authority that are just good and gentle, but also to the forward. Because sometimes you have brothers that are straightforward, and tell you like it is, and then you have some that in a relaxed spirit to correct you. So it's not those that are straightforward, but also those that are relaxed.
Correct.
So give me 1 John 4:20. Because you got to realize it's different type of brothers that you're going to be dealing with, especially if it's true. Not somebody who is hard and straightforward, but those that are gentle and relaxed. You have to respect them because why? The Most High in Christ put them in authority. Some brothers have different type of spirits that you're going to be dealing with. Some are going to be hardcore, some that can be over the top, but in righteousness, and some that who's going to be relaxed and gentle. But either way, the Most High put them in that position, that authority position, that in that rank. They wasn't chosen for that rank. The Most High saw that they was worthy of that rank, that they earned that rank, and that they can do the job, and was very qualified. Go ahead.
This is 1 John 4:20. If a man say, I love God, and hate his brother, he is a liar.
It says what?
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
It says, if a man say he love God, if a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. The church, the Christian church, Baptist church, whatever religious denomination that you're from, and you attend the church on Sunday, all day they say, God is love, I love God. Oh, I love God so much, I'll do this. I love God so much, I'll do that. You professing out of your mouth that you love God, and yet you up there hating your brother. Most High say what? He is a what?
He is a liar.
The Most High say you're a liar. How you going to claim that you love God, but yet you hated your brother? Who you think made your brother? Who you think made your family? The Most High created and made your family. So how you going to love him who created your family, but you going to hate your own brother? Come on, the Christian church is lies. It's full of lies. You can read about that in Romans 1:25-32 all day about what the Christian church is doing. So how you going to sit there by your brother and you up there going to church and you going to hate him, but yet you professing out your mouth you love the Most High? Yeah, you got a question?
Well, no, I was going to add on, so I wouldn't do finish.
So you can't be up there claiming that you serving and loving the Most High, and yet you hate your own brother, who the Most High created and made. Get real. The Christian church tells you how to hate your brother. They talk about, the pastor and preacher up there talk about, yeah, if that brother do this to you, you don't have to say nothing to him, just give him a hand or ignore him. Steve Harvey said the same thing. If they talk about slavery, go ahead and give him a hand. Come on, man. How you going to hate your brother? You up there in the streets with him every day. You walking somewhere with that brother. You up there in the vicinity of that brother all day, every day, chilling with him. But yet you claiming you love God and you looking at that man with your side eye talk about, I hate that Negro. I hate him. He this, he that. That ain't nothing but the gospel of women. You can't be up there and say you love the Most High and you hate your brother with a side eye. Look at him like you want to kill him or you want to hurt him or do something to him. That's wicked as hell. So you can't say that you love the Most High and yet hate your brother. Go ahead.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
It says, for he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen. So you chilling with your brother every day. You seen your brother. You in front of him face to face. You give him hugs and pounds, and yet you hate your brother underhandedly. How can you love not your brother who you have seen, but yet you saying you love the Most High who you have not seen? You ain't never see the Most High face. Because why? It says those that look upon the face of the Most High surely is death. Moses didn't look upon the face of the Most High, but Moses know what the Most High looked like Because why? He's seen glimpses of the Most High, but not his face. Looking upon the face of the Most High is death. So how can you say that you hate your brother who you have seen every day, chilling with him, going to places with him, going out to the club and all that with him, but yet what? How can you love the Most High who you have not seen? So that's why the Most High calling you a liar, because why? You prove him in these streets every day because you hate your brother, because he might owe you $5 and he might owe you $20 or so much. Or he might have done something to you, and yet you want to take a gun and cap your brother. The Most High in Christ are saying that you are a liar. Because why? You want to be in the vicinity of that man when he got something good, but yet as soon as he got nothing or he owe you something, you up there talking about, I hate that Negro. Come on, the Most High saying you are a liar. Any more?
Concept.
Go ahead.
1 John 4:21. And this commandment have we from him.
And this what?
Commandment have we from him.
And this commandment that we have from him. This is a commandment that we have from the Most High in Christ. Go on.
That he who loveth God love his brother also.
That he who love who?
God. Love his brother also.
If you saying that you love the Most High, you're going to love your brother also, because why? The Most High made that brother. Matter of fact, hold that and give me Psalms 133:1. Because in order for us to be a strong nation of priests and prophets, brothers, according to the scriptures, those 12 tribes to come together like Zephaniah 2:1 say, we got to love our brother also. He might not be your favorite brother. He might not be somebody that you talk to every day, or you might dwell with that brother every day. But guess what? If he of those 12 tribes, those that listed on that sign, from any of the 12 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, that is your brother. And guess what? The Most High gave you this commandment. Christ gave you that commandment that you gotta love him. Slakia. Pardon me for a second.
Concept.
Shalom. All right, the door now open. All right. Oh, we done already started. Yeah, just come on up. Just come on up. All right, look. Shalom.
I got the door.
No, you're fine. Salakia on that. As I was continuing, so it says in 1 John 5:21, Salakia 4:21, and this commandment that we got from the Most High, that he who loveth the Most High, love his brother also. So the Most High made your brother. So if you love the Most High, you're going to love your brother also. This is a commandment, which is a strict, stern order from the Most High to love him. You see your brother in need, you help him out.
Concept.
You see your brother ain't got no shoes on, all of those 5 and 10 pair of shoes that you got in the closet, whether they brand new or a little worn out, guess what? You make sure that brother has something on his feet. That brother ain't got nothing in his refrigerator or nothing to eat. You got a little bit of extra cash, or you got some food that you can spare. Make sure you feed that brother. Because guess what? When the time comes, you're going to need that brother, and that brother going to need you. That's how we build a strong nation. By the men standing up, being able to be strong, to stand up and help one another, to raise up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Not to be weak and hate your brother. Let them other nations hate each other. Let them other nations hate us. But in here, in the I.S.U.P.K, in these 12 tribes, we're going to love one another as the Most High in Christ had commanded us. And that's an order from the Most High in Christ out of this Bible.
Psalms 133:1.
Salakia. Hello? Shalom to 5. In the school, during class. Not where I'm sitting at right now, sir, because I'm at that. I'm gonna ask you not to go and come here. I'm I'm up on stage. Come on. Shalom, most high praise. Salakia for that. Where were we?
Psalms 133 and 1, sir.
Come, give me Psalms 133 and 1, Baba Kushal.
Psalms 133 and 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant is it for brethren to dwell together in unity.
It says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is to dwell together with what?
For brethren to dwell together in unity.
For brethren to dwell together in unity. That means we're not against each other. The Most High says, look upon this, take notice of this. Salakia, let me get the scripture.
Let me read it again, sir.
Hold on, let me get it.
Oh.
It says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So the Most High is saying, behold, look upon this, take notice of this. This is what you should do. How good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. That means you're not at your brother's throat. You're not holding him for ransom. You're not trying to shake his pockets. You're not trying to beat him down. You're not trying to kill him. You're not trying to harm him. You're not trying to gossip about him. You're not talking about him behind his back. You're not doing evil to your brother. But it says you dwelling together in unity as one. The scripture already asked you a question. Can two walk together unless agreed? You can't walk with your brother unless you're in that unity. You have that strong brotherhood. So it says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together. So if it's good and pleasant for you to dwell together with your brother, that's what you're doing also when you dwell with that brother. You love him also. In unity, which means you together, you on that one accord. You here doing the Lord's work, and when you go out there in the world after doing the Most High work, the Most High Christ's work that is required, guess what? You got nothing but love for that brother. Guess what? Here in the I.S.U.P.K, we don't care whether you a drug dealer. We don't care whether whatever your past had brought up. We don't care about those things. When you come in here and you change yourself over and do these laws, statutes, commandments, that old man is dead. But that new brother here today, dwelling together with other brothers, you're going to do that in love and unity, as the scripture has said. I don't care what that brother done to me out in the street. But once he come in here, we working together in unity and in love, trying to raise up these 12 tribes as commanded. Any more to that?
I could read.
Go ahead, verse 2.
Psalms 133 and 2. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the bed, even Aaron's bed, that went down to the skirts of his garments.
The Most High is saying to dwell together in unity is like precious ointment upon the head. You know, when you get blessed or you get anointed, you pour that oil on your head, how good, silky, and smooth that it feels. That's how brotherhood is when you able to dwell together in unity. You are in sync. It feels that good to be able to do a project with your brother and you're not arguing, you're not fussing and fighting, you're doing as the Most High say, and you complete that order together. The instructions that you had, the instructions that was sent to you. The Most High said it's like the oil that runneth down, the precious ointment that runneth down into your beard. It's silky, it's smooth, it's good, it's nourishing. It says they went down to the skirts of his garment, so you know it's a good thing. When the Most High had mentioned it like that, giving it in comparison to the oil that's running down Aaron's beard down to his skirts. So guess what? The Most High in Christ wants you to dwell together in unity with your brother. Because guess what? It's going to be a time where a brother might not pay his rent, and the landlord might be a bastard. He'll go ahead and send out the turn off notice, send the sheriff, and the brother might get put out. Are you going to turn that brother away? Or if you have the room or you have the means, you're going to tell that brother, come on in, bro. Forget that landlord. Let him do whatever. You my brother, come on in. That's how it's supposed to be. Forget them worldly bastards out there in the world. In the I.S.U.P.K, you're going to love your brother. You're going to fight with your brother. You're going to war with your brother. And after you finish warring with your brother, guess what? Warring beside your brother, guess what? You're going to eat with that brother. You're going to break bread with that brother. You're going to have some strong drink with that brother. And guess what? Ain't nobody fussing and fighting. Ain't nobody talk about you going to do this and you going to do that. We're going to be in unity as the Most High in Christ commanded. This is what real brotherhood is about. Caring for your own. Caring for your people, for the people of your nation. Caring for those 12 tribes. Just like Christ and the disciples did, we are going to do it today here in the I.S.U.P.K. You got a problem with your brother, you're going to settle it. And we're going to get to that very soon, coming up in these scriptures, to show how you should be dealing with your brother if you have a disagreement. And you're going to deal with that brother in a righteous way. Not how the world tell you to deal with somebody. Not how the Christian church and these religious denominations tell you how to deal with a brother. But as the scriptures have said. Any more?
Sir.
All right. Give me Matthew 25 and 40. Because it's ridiculous the things that's happening in the street over a silly disagreement or a silly argument. Somebody, one of our own brothers, shooting another brother over $5. If you're doing the right thing to do, you can always get $5. You don't have to browbeat that brother for $5. You don't have to stab him up for $5. You don't have to choke that brother out for $5. If that brother owe you, let the brother get a chance to get it. Don't harm that brother. Because guess what? If two of y'all are walking in the street and y'all got a disagreement over some money or something, guess what? And some heathen about 3 or 5 heathens try to come up and beat you down. Who is around to help you? Because you done separate and walked away from your brother for a silly disagreement over $5. Nobody's there to help you out. But if you sell that argument like the scriptures say, guess what? That brother see you in trouble, he gonna come running to your aid. He gonna help you out. He gonna make sure you're alive. And even if something do happen to one of the brothers, guess what? The other brother can tell the story so that all things can be accounted for. Don't hate your brother. You're supposed to love your brothers that the Most High in Christ said. Because it was a time where the disciples of Christ had asked, who is the greatest one of us all? Who is the greatest disciple? Christ told them, if y'all been taught by me, all y'all are the greatest. So that means, guess what? Love your brother. As Christ has loved you. As the brotherhood that Christ showed the disciples and the disciples showed to each other. Of course, brothers going to come up and have that contention. You know you're going to get in an argument. You're going to have a little disagreement. But guess what? Sell it how the scriptures told you to sell it. And it didn't tell you to sell it with a weapon. It tell you to go to that brother alone. He and thee alone. But we going to get to that. Go to Matthew 25 and 40.
Got it, sir. Matthew 25 and 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brother, you have done it unto me.
It says, and the king shall answer and say unto them, who is talking right now? Because we see the words are in red.
Right,
this is Christ talking. Christ is talking right now. And it says, and the king shall answer and say unto them. So who was Christ talking to? Christ was talking not only to the disciples, but he was also talking to the rest of Israel, giving them this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Bible, revealing the secrets unto the priest and the prophet of Israel, not to the whole world, but from the beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible. It's all about Israel. It says, and the king talked about Christ, saying unto the disciples, unto the rest of Israel, inasmuch as you have done it unto me, do it unto the least of these, my brethren. So he was talking about your brethren, just as you would do for Christ, do for your brother of your nation. If you fed Christ, you're going to feed your brother. If you clothe Christ, you're going to clothe your brother. If you gave Christ something to eat, you're going to give your brother something to eat.
Question.
Go ahead.
Would that also apply in the reverse? Like if you hurt your brother, you hurt Yahweh too?
Exactly. If you're going to hurt your brother, you're going to hurt Christ too. Because guess what? Christ said, "There's your brother," and to love your brother just like you love him. So what? You don't care about your brother? That means you don't care about Christ.
Okay.
Christ always taught about the brotherhood, gave the disciples not only a lesson to love your brother, but to love Israel out there. Whether we was two kingdoms or whether we was two kingdoms coming back as one, which is going to be very soon today. Gathering those 12 tribes from one end of the earth unto the other to be together as one, which is in Ezekiel 37, 5 to 11. Salakia, Ezekiel 37 and 16 to 19. Salakia, let me correct that. Ezekiel 37, 16 to 19. Talk about Israel, that we were two, the northern and southern kingdom of Israel, to come together as one. That we shall not be two no more, but one. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Which means, who in the world today is not desired? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. And that also means the sisters too, because we're not talking about brotherhood also, we talk about sisterhood. Sisters, stop gossiping and hating one another. Sisters, stop stabbing each other in the back. Brothers, stop stabbing each other in the back. Do as Christ commanded. Do as Christ commanded by loving your brother and sister. Life is too short to be up there fighting over a silly argument to where somebody get killed in the midst of it. Christ don't want you to kill your brother. Christ wants you to love your brother. Because how else we going to build this strong nation? If the Most High is for us, who can be against us? If Christ is for us, who can be against us? So guess what? If you're against your brother, you're against Christ and the Most High also. Any more?
Could be. Wow, sir.
There's more.
Oh, come, 41. Yes, sir. This is Matthew 25 and 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
It says, then shall he say unto them that on the left hand, meaning you hate your brother, you don't want to do as the Most High and Christ say. Christ said, depart from me, which means you breaking so many commandments that of the good things that Christ had taught you, how to love and care for your brother, how to tend to a brother. You don't know what a brother going through on a daily basis unless you come and talk to him and visit him and ask him. You don't know what a brother got in his pocket unless you ask him. He could be sitting there hungry and so full of pride that he'll sit there until he nearly passed the hell out, until you come and ask that brother, like a brother, hey, what's going on? You see all of us eating, why ain't you eating? We done all been through that.
Good.
You shouldn't be going over things alone. If you're going through something, get righteous counsel. If you need something, go to a brother and ask. If you see a brother needing something, go to that brother and offer. Don't just let that brother sit there without anything or seem like he left by himself. Come on. This life is too short. We got work to do up in here. We got to go out there in the highways and the byways and talk and bring our people into this truth before the eventual and wrathful day of the Most High and Christ come. We ain't got no time to be hating one another. We got enough to deal with as it is. We got enough pressure out there. Sometimes your wife might be a monster. She hates you. Then guess what? That hateful demon jump on your children hate you. And guess who the only one that you got to turn to? Your brother. Because guess what? Your brother help you figure out things. Because your brother ain't gonna let you walk their journey alone and be beaten down by all that hateful stuff. Your brother gonna heal you by telling you the right things to do according to the Bible, according to how Christ would have. Go ahead.
All the way down, sir. 46.
Go ahead.
Come, sir. This is Matthew 25 and 42. For when I was an hungry, and you gave me no meat.
He said, for when I was a hungry, you gave me no meat. So you hating your brother that you ain't going to feed him? How dare you? The Most High in Christ and Commanding GEN.YAHANNA had taught us better than that. You see a brother hungry, just like the Most High in Christ feeds you, just like Commanding GEN.YAHANNA feeds you, you feed that brother. Go ahead.
I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink.
He was thirsty, and you gave him no drink. This is Christ talking. Christ said, you want to be so wicked and hate your brother and hate him also. When Christ was thirsty, you gave him no drink. When he was hungry, you didn't give him no meat to eat. That's very wicked of him. Go ahead.
43. I was a stranger, and you took me not in.
When Christ was a stranger, you took him not in. How dare you not take your brother in? Make sure he got food, clothing, and shelter. That's the righteous thing to do. And if Christ did that to you, you do it to that brother. Go ahead.
Naked, and you clothed me not.
Naked, and you clothed me not. You see your brother ain't got no socks and shoes? You see him ain't got no shirt on? Give that brother something to wear. I don't care if you just bought it. I don't care if it costs $50 million, $1,000 or whatever. You give that brother something that you got. You gonna let that brother walk out there naked so somebody can see his nakedness, which is very unlawful? You gonna let him walk across the ground and he ain't got no socks and shoes and let him get his feet all beat up and cut up from walking on the dirty pavement? You give that brother a pair of shoes. Go ahead.
Sick and in prison, and you visited me not.
That's why we have a prison program in the I.S.U.P.K. to visit those brothers that the world and society had gave up on. We go and visit those brothers. We give them brothers that's up there in the whole prison, whether they did something or not. We give them that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so that at the time when they do get out, they got a place to call home, which is 1 West I.S.U.P.K. We visit them in the prisons. We make sure that they ain't lonely. We make sure they got a shoulder to lean on, a brother to turn to. Don't leave your brother out in the world lonely. Go ahead.
This is 25 and 44 Matthew. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee a hunger, or thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee?
It says, then this is Christ still talking in Matthew 25 and 44. Then say they also answer him, saying, Lord, when we saw thee a hunger, or a thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee. So the disciples had asked Christ, we have never saw you hungered, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did we not do something about it? If you would do something about it, if Christ was all those things, naked, hungry, sick, in prison, thirsty, would you not have done something to alleviate Christ's pain? So guess what? If you're going to do this for Christ, and as much as you have done it to Christ, do it to the least of them, which are your brethren. You do this for your brother also. Because what? The Most High in Christ commanded. Go ahead.
This is 25 and 45. Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. That's 46.
45. Then shall he answer unto them. So Christ gave them an answer back, saying, Verily, inasmuch I done it to you, it says, inasmuch as you did it not to one of the least of these brethren, you did it not to me. So if you ain't do that for Christ, you ain't doing it for the brother also. Because guess what? Christ told you what to do for a brother. You see him out there in danger. You see him out there in the world alone. You see him going through some trouble, need counseling. You lift that brother up. That's strength. That's real power. That's real authority. You don't let that brother, if he at sea, keep on swimming until he can't swim no more and drown. You take the last of your strength and help that brother out of that situation. That's what Christ and the Most High requires. Go ahead, 46.
And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal.
And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So guess what? Christ is going to punish you for being so wicked to your brother, for not helping him, for leaving him out there in a situation that you could have got up off your lazy behind and helped him with. You had the means. You had the way. If a one brother that he asked don't got it, go to another brother. That is not begging. Guess what that is? That is saying to you like you would see to Christ. But it says, but the righteous into life eternal, which means this is something you should supposed to do for your brother for the rest of your life. Not just one day, not for one moment, not just to be doing it, to be seen of men. Because guess what? When you do it for your brother, ain't nobody looking at you. You doing it because you want to, because you have to, not because somebody ordered you to, but Christ is ordering you to do this for your brother. So what? You don't get recognized for it. So what? You don't get acknowledged for helping your brother. It's something you're supposed to do in the first place because it's the right damn thing to do. Give me John 13 and 34.
Got it, sir. You ready?
Let me get it first.
Fine.
Go ahead.
John 13 and 34. A new commandment I give unto you.
He said, what?
A new commandment I give unto you.
Christ said, this is a new commandment that I give unto you. It's talking about also the New Testament, a commandment in the New Testament, but a commandment that Christ been saying from the get-go, which is an order from him. Go ahead.
That ye love one another.
That you what?
Love one another.
No, hate each other like the heathens do out in the street.
That ye love one another.
That you what?
Love one another.
Christ said you better love one another. Because that's the only way we're going to get up out this hell, by loving one another. That goes for brothers and sisters too. This is not just a brotherhood class. This is telling you what to do with a sister also. A sister, you're supposed to love your sister. Brother, love your brothers as Christ commanded you. Go ahead.
As I have loved you.
As Christ loved you, you love that brother. As Christ had loved that sister, you love your sister. We family. Those 12 tribes on that sign, we are the same. We the same blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that one family out of the loins of Jacob that's been suffering together. Maybe at different times, but we suffering the same hell right now. I dare you to turn on the news, to turn on your TV, and see, don't you see a black man, Hispanic man, or Native Indian man suffering? We suffering through the same hell. So guess what? Lift up that brother and sister and help them. Go ahead.
That you also love one another.
That you also love one another. Yahushua Christ can't even stress that enough to love your brother. So what? You had an argument. Talk to that brother and sister. See what it's about. And many times the argument that we have with one another is silly. It's very childish. Ain't nothing but a bunch of silly pride. You want to hate your brother because he got something that you want? Guess what? Ask that brother how to get it before you want to go ahead and harm that brother or do wrong or something unrighteous to that brother. Because guess what? If that brother was able to get it, that brother can teach you how to get it too.
Yes, sir.
Any more to that?
Yes, sir. John 13 and 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples. It
says, by doing this shall you know that ye are my disciples. Which means if you loving your brother, you doing for him, you caring for him, you giving a shoulder to cry on, because things get hectic out in this world that you can't deal by yourself, that you have to have their advice or somebody of wisdom to tell you how to move on, how to go about things. Not to go out there foolishly and get caught up in the world. The world don't love you. These heathens don't love you. But your brother is going to love you as Christ commanded. Go ahead.
If ye have loved one to another.
If ye have loved one to another. Christ's been saying this all through the scriptures, all through the New Testament. You want to know how to care for your brother? Look at the example that Christ has shown Israel. You want to know how to heal a brother's sickness because he might be going through something? See if that brother is okay. Visit that brother once in a while. You chill with him at the club, and now that you ain't in the world, even if you still going to the club, you ain't going to go see to that brother if he's sick at home. You ain't going to bring that brother some food. You ain't going to send that brother some good cheer. Come on. Do for your brother as you would do for Christ. That's what Christ is asking you. Don't be a hateful monster to your brother. Sisters, don't be a hateful demon to your man and to your sisters. Don't be a hateful demon to your children. Love them as Christ will love you. Because all day you professing, oh, I love Christ, I love God. Prove it, because love is an action. Prove that you love your man. Prove that you love your brother. Prove that you love your sister. Prove that you love your children. Show it. Because that's what love is an action. Not just something you say and be appeased with. But it's an action that you do. You love your people, do for them. All right. Is that it?
Yeah. Sir.
Give me Matthew 5 and 22. Matthew 5 and 22. Because it's ridiculous what our people go through out here in the street. It's our brothers and sisters out there that's lost that we need to go ahead and fish and get. But we can't do that if we hate them. Me, myself, speaking personally of me, I don't give a damn what tribe you come from. You are of Israel, of those 12 tribes, I love you. I don't care whether you're on drugs. I help you get off drugs. Commanding GEN.YAHANNA been doing it since 1969, since he knew about the truth, since brothers under him knew about the truth. Commanding GEN.YAHANNA been helping brothers and sisters get through their situations for years and days and centuries, whenever. Commanding GEN.YAHANNA been there from day one, helping brothers and sisters get through the BS that goes on in their life every day. I can't imagine how many calls Commanding GEN.YAHANNA, GEN.YAHANNA go through a day. Good gracious. And that's out of pure love for one another, for your brethren, for your nation, your kinsmen, according to the flesh, your bloodline, the people of your nation. I can't imagine how many calls they get a day. It must be mind-boggling. Goodness gracious, I don't even want to think about it because it's going to make my head hurt to think how many calls they get a day, solving brother and sister problems, from the greatest to the least. Goodness gracious. Let me get off there before my head explodes trying to even think of a number. Go ahead, Matthew.
Matthew 5 and 22, sir. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
It says, but I say unto you that whosoever, and this whosoever is talking about Israel. That's in Acts 2 and 21 to 22. Ye men of Israel. And it's not only talking about the men, it's talking about the sisters having a problem with their sister, with their fellow Israelite sister. It says, but I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in what?
Danger of the judgment.
Shall be in danger of judgment. And sometimes that judgment is death. But if you hear in the I.S.U.P.K, it don't have to be death. That means you're going to take your unrighteous behind to counsel. Because what? You angry with your brother without a cause, without a good reason. The Most High in Christ tell you how to settle with the brother. But you're going to go into your own mind, trying to think about how you're going to get this brother back, how you're going to repay him back unrighteously. You're going to be in danger of judgment. And sometimes that judgment is death. Why do you think our brothers and sisters out here that's lost, shooting one another in the head, stabbing one another like these heathens do? Because you have not gotten the wisdom and understanding and righteousness of this Bible, nor taught by righteous counsel, nor taught by the righteous men of God, which is our I.S.U.P.K. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakab, and I'm looking at word up.
It means fool.
Or worthless, it says, shall be in danger of the, sorry about that, sir. Shall be in danger of the council.
It says, Rakab. Whoever shall say to his brother, Rakab, or fool, or basically you looking at that brother as a waste of time, guess what? Shall be in danger of counsel. You're not doing any of your orders. You're not saying to that brother is okay. You angry with them, with your brother without a reason. You calling that brother a fool. Talk about, I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to sell nothing with you, but I got you. I got you. That's worldly BS. And guess what? Because of situations like that, and you don't get the righteous counsel or sell it with your brother in a good and manly way, guess what? Brothers die that way. How would you like it if you would unrighteously do something to that brother or cause for the effect for him to die because you don't want to be righteous and you gotta go to his funeral the next day? That means you being a bastard to your brother. You are being worthless. We don't do for that brother. We don't care for that brother. Love is an action. Show it. Do it. Put your hand to work to make sure that brother is all right. That brother ain't got no ride home. You make sure by any means necessary that brother get a ride home after class or whenever to make sure that brother is safe and in the house. And make sure that he give you a call or a text. That's the righteous thing to do instead of letting them sit out on that bus stop. And guess what? Something happened on that bus stop and you got to read about them in the news the next day. Or you don't care about that brother. That brother might need some medicine that he's taking to cure whatever ailing him. And you tell that brother, no, man, get out here. You already owe me money. And then that brother died. How you going to feel? There's plenty of situations that I can talk about. But guess what? Here in the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to love one another. We ain't having that foolishness. We are going to do as the scriptures, as the Bible, as the Most High in Christ command, to love one another. Because guess what? When you out in that street, the so-called white man step on your shoe, what you going to do? Oh, sorry, that's okay. It don't matter, sir. Love your goddamn brother. Your brother step on your shoe, don't worry about it. How hard is it for you to take a little bleach or a toothbrush and some soap and scrub off that mark on your shoe? Instead of you being a bastard about it and trying to shoot that brother for stepping on your shoe. It could have been a mistake. The bus could have been crowded. The sidewalk could have been crowded. And he made a mistake. Don't be like that. Be an honorable and worthy man to your brother by loving him. By holding him up when he is down. By tending to that brother when he's lonely. By going to see that brother when he might end up in jail over a stupid situation that wasn't even his fault. Don't cast that brother to the side. Bring him in. Tell that brother how much he means to you and help that brother out. Loving another brother is not homosexual. Loving that brother is righteous. We're going to love each other according to these scriptures. Don't do that love according to the scripture. Don't do that love according to how the church do it. They up there kissing and hugging and out there jumping up and down and getting that so-called feeling. That ain't the love that Christ requires you to do. Christ requires you to do an action, which is help that brother out any way that you can. Any more?
Come, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the rest of Matthew 5:22. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
And whosoever shall say to thy brother, thou fool, shall be in danger of judgment, which means shall be in danger of hellfire. Guess what? You ain't caring what that brother got to say to you, and he trying to sell an argument. The Most High is going to bring judgment upon you. Listen to that brother. How much out of your so-called busy day do you have to not listen to a few minutes of what that brother trying to tell you to settle that argument that y'all might have been having 2 or 3 days? That can be settled within 2 minutes. Come on now. Let's not act like these heathens out here. Let's act like the priests and the prophets and the people that the Most High chose to be holy unto him. Be ye perfect, be ye holy, by doing as these scriptures say and doing as Christ had told you to do. Any more?
It's always more so, but it's a little bit off. So you might want to look at it yourself.
Wow. Matter of fact, go to Luke 6:31.
I got it.
Because I'm going to tell you from personal experience that me, myself, I've been at home lonely plenty of times. You know, going about my day. I might have been feeling a little sad because something had went through my mind. And guess what? The Most High sends you that brother that'll help you out. And guess what? A brother called me up. Hey, Shalom, what's going on? How you feeling? What's going on with you? A brother had came to my house and actually picked me up. And he was like, have you ate yet? I was like, no, I was thinking about cooking, but I didn't want to pull anything out. That's okay, I got you. That's brotherhood. Oh, you home by yourself? Let me come over and see you on the game system. Let me whip your behind on the game system. That's brotherhood. I can give you names how that happened. My brother came and seen about me. So guess what? I'll come and see about my brothers. That's how it's supposed to be. My brothers had never put their hands on me. My brothers had never beat me down here in the I.S.U.P.K. And trust this, if it was something that I didn't do, they corrected me in righteousness according to these scriptures. They told me what I should do to make a situation that I was in better. That's love. They didn't leave me stranded out there. They made sure that I had when I didn't have. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 6:31.
Luke 6:31.
I'm sorry. So Luke 6:31.
Mm-hmm.
And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
And this is Christ talking. He says, as ye would do that men should do to you, ye also to them likewise. So if you're going to do this thing for Christ, you would. If Christ was standing here right in front of you, and you saw him in a situation, would you do for him? Would you help him out? Would you tend to his needs? When you say, Lord, I see that you was hungry and I made this for you. Would you do that for him if Christ was right in front of you? So if you see a brother sitting there hungry, would you feed him? If a brother was sad, would you talk to him about what's going on? Christ even had the angels minister unto him. So why would you minister unto that brother? See that he's okay. How better are you than Christ? Christ is perfect. We not. So guess what? Try to be like Christ and be ye perfect by doing for your brother. Don't leave your brother stranded out there. That's why we all scattered everywhere now, because of the hate that the world and these heathens have put upon us to teach each other. But guess what? Here in the I.S.U.P.K, those 12 tribes out of the loins of Jacob, we're going to teach each other right. We're going to teach each other how to do according to these scriptures. We're going to teach each other what true love is according to the scripture, which is keeping these commandments and tending to your brother, raising him up. Even if you fall out of truth, guess what? You're going to teach that brother so much love that when he get up and rank and in order, he going to continue where you left off. That's love. You're going to keep these law, statute, commandments. That's love. You're going to keep doing as the Most High in Christ said. That is love. Go ahead.
Luke 6:32. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye?
It says, if ye love them that love you, what thank have ye? Let me tell you, loving your brother is a thankless job, but it's the right thing to do. You ain't gonna always get praise and acknowledged, like I said before, for attending to your brother or seeing that he got. Some things go unseen, but guess what? Who you think see? The Most High in Christ. So if the Most High in Christ said, guess what? The Most High in Christ gonna bless you for helping that brother. Because guess what? That brother gonna love you so much. Just so happen if he hit the lottery or get a blessing, he gonna make sure you get a part of that too, that brother that you done helped out so unselfishly. Don't treat your brother like trash. Because guess what? The Most High in Christ is royalty. Guess what? You are royalty. That brother or that sister that you know of our nation, of our people, those 12 tribes, if the Most High in Christ is royalty, she is royalty. And you treat her as such. Stop being goddamn monsters to each other. It's not worth it. Let them heathens kill each other. But here, we're going to love one another. Go ahead. Any more?
Counter. For sinners also do even the same.
Salaki. Matter of fact, give me 6 and 35.
That's better. Sorry. So it's Luke 6 and 35. But love ye your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again.
It says, but what?
Love your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again.
The scriptures say, but love your enemies. As again, reiterating, Christ was talking to not only the disciples, but to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he said, but to love your enemies. And for the churches out there in the Christian community, in the Baptist community, I know you don't have no kind of wisdom or sense to know who your enemy are. Because guess what? If a brother fights you without reason, guess what? He could be your enemy. If a brother owe you something, that minute, he can become your enemy. So your enemy is your neighbor, but your neighbor is a fellow Israelite. So it says, but love ye your enemy, meaning to love your brother and your sister. Go ahead.
And do good.
And do what?
And do good.
No, cast them to the side. Tell them they're worthless.
Do good.
No, put an obstacle in their way so that you'll see them fall and laugh.
And do good.
And do good. Just as you are good to Christ, you be good to them also. You're a brother and sister of your nation. Go ahead.
And lend.
And lend and give them. The churches always talk about give till it hurts. Why don't you give your brother that don't have? Why don't you give your sister that don't have? Make sure their needs are taken care of. Go ahead.
Hoping for nothing again.
Hoping for nothing again. Hoping to get nothing in return. Help your brother and sister out. Don't expect nothing back. Go ahead.
And your reward shall be great.
For doing for your brother and sister out of love, the thing that you're supposed to do, your reward shall be what?
Great.
Your reward is going to be great. Go ahead.
And ye shall be children of the highest.
And ye shall be children of who?
The highest.
You children of the Most High. That's why you do it. That's why you love your brother and sister. That's why you love Christ, because you are children of the highest. You are children of the Most High. Yasha'Allah. Princes and princesses of the power, of the living power. Yahweh. Go ahead.
For he is kind unto the thankful and to the evil.
For he is kind unto the thankful and to the evil. For the Most High and Christ is kind unto the unthankful, which means you don't always have to thank your brother. Sometimes you don't get things. And to the evil, when you thinking of evil thoughts, and the Most High send that brother your way to settle with you in the righteous way, and take them evil thoughts from out your mind. That's what the Most High and Christ is doing this for them to show you love, so you can show another brother and sister that love. This is good. This is some yum yum, and it is good. Give me John 15 and 12. John 15 and 12.
Got it. Let me know you're ready, sir.
Go ahead.
John 15 and 12. This is my commandment.
Christ is saying, this is my commandment. This right here in this Bible, in this book that you're reading right now, that was written a long time before you coming into this world, Christ said, this is my commandment. Go ahead.
That ye love one another.
That you what?
Love one another.
That you love one another. Christ reiterated over and over and over again that you love one another. Because doing the commandments is love. Fear of the Most High is love. And guess what? Love your brother and sister is love. And action. Go ahead.
As I have loved you.
As I have loved you. If Christ loved you, guess what? You love your brother and sister. All right. So, go ahead.
This is John 15 and 13.
And listen to this very carefully. John 15 and 13. Go ahead.
Greater love hath no man than this.
It says, greater love have no man than this. So this is the greatest love that you can ever show for somebody of your people, of your nation, of your tribe, of your people. Go ahead.
That a man lay down his life for his friends.
That a man do what?
Lay down his life for his friends.
That a man lay down his life for his friends. That you yourself lay down your life for your brother and sister. That you protect that brother and sister, no matter what goes on. Because guess what? You go and defend that Chinese, that African, that so-called white man if you want to. Guess what? They ain't going to defend you. It's evident here out in these streets. Unless we come together in Zephaniah 2:1 like the Most High and Christ said, guess what? Them other nations going to laugh at you and tell you, I'm not helping you. I'm not defending you. You ain't my people. But guess what? That black man, that Hispanic man, and that Native Indian man that sit right by you, y'all might have never spoken before, but guess what? Y'all brothers. So no man had any greater love than this. That he what? Go ahead.
That he laid down his life for his friends.
That he laid down his life for his friends. That you lay your life and put your life on the line for your brother and your sisters. We do it every time we go out there. Whether you in Baltimore City, whether you in Mississippi, whether you in Missouri, whether you in New York, whether you in Delaware, no matter where you are in I.S.U.P.K, and we go out there to fish on Saturday to bring brothers and sisters in the truth, guess what? We doing it not for our health, but because we love you and want to teach the righteous things before the Most High come and destroy this wicked place called Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah, which is Babylon in America. Go ahead.
15 and 14 of John. Ye are my friends if you do whatever I command you.
Christ said, ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. So if Christ telling you to love your brother and sister, guess what? You are not only Christ's friends, but you are his brother and sister also. Come on now. We go through enough problems being black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Why not show that love back that Christ showed when Christ showed you love? Why not do for your brother and sister? Come on. We got a long way to go. We actually have to please the Most High. And how we going to do that? By doing these commandments and loving each other. Don't let this Bible fall short. Don't have this sword come out your hand. Hold this Bible, hold these commandments not only to your hearts, which is not only in your mind, but hold this Bible close to you like it's the last thing that you got, which is probably the last thing that we do have. Because guess what? Not only are we going to be doing these laws and commandments right now, but we're going to still continue to do these laws and commandments when we get the kingdom. Just like it's a Bible up in heaven where the Most High dwells, it's a Bible down here now. So don't let it fall short. Don't let go of your sword. And like Commanding GEN.YAHANNA said, and General Muhammad said, put this sword back wet. And how you going to bring it back wet? By doing these laws, statutes, commandments. Give me Matthew 18 and 21. Because guess what? We need to know how to heal our families, which are these 12 tribes. And how we going to do that? We're going to look for our wisdom and understanding in these scriptures. We're going to get counseled by men of the Most High under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. You got that? Matthew 18 and 21?
Concert.
Uh-huh.
Matthew 18 and 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
This was Peter asking Christ a question right here. He asking Christ a question. Lord, how often should I forgive my brother? Because, he might offend me or he might do this to me. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm mad with him right now. But, Lord, how often should I forgive him if he keep on doing this? This is the answer that Christ has said unto Peter and all the disciples. Go ahead.
Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
So Christ said unto him, I ain't going to tell you until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. And it's not a number that you can calculate, but it means 70 times 7, meaning as much as possible. That's what Christ meant. If a brother offends you, talk to that brother and forgive him as much as possible. Because guess what? He might not know that he offended you. He might know what he had done to you. He might not know. So you're going to just hold that grudge against the brother? No, you're going to forgive that brother 70 times 7, which means as much as possible. All phones on mute, Baba Kushal. Take that outside, Baba Kushal. Sawada. Any more?
Sorry about this.
That was it. So Christ was telling Peter, you forgive your brother as much as possible.
Huh. Matthew 18 and 20.
We was Matthew 18, 21 to 22. Now give me Mark 12 and 31. Mark 12 and 31.
Got it.
Go ahead.
Mark 12 and 31. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
It says, and the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Somehow people who don't know what your neighbor is get it all misconstrued, get it all wrong. Can somebody hand me a Bible dictionary? Baba Kushal? Because we are going to tell you who your neighbor is according to the Bible, not of our own mouth, but according to what the scripture is saying a neighbor is.
Got it, sir.
You got it?
Yes.
Read nice and loud.
Neighbor. Commandments 6 through 10 deal with duties towards one neighbor. In the Old Testament, neighbor meant one who lived nearby.
Hold up. It says neighbor, one who lived nearby. Go ahead.
A fellow Israelite.
A fellow what?
Israelite.
A fellow Israelite, which means if it was a neighbor nearby that of your nation, your people, your tribe, it was a fellow Israelite. So that's who your neighbor is. It's not Esau or Edie across the street. It's not Kim Sung York across the damn way. But guess what? It's not that Arab who fit to say Ali Akbar and blow you the hell up, talk about he your friend but got a bomb strapped to him. But guess what? He is a fellow Israelite. That is who your neighbor is. Somebody of your nation, your people, your kindred, your blood, according to the flesh, as concerning the fathers. Read on.
I lost my spot. Matt, it was
Mark 12 and 31.
I didn't write it down. Okay, so love thy neighbor as thyself.
It says, love thy neighbor as thyself, which means love that fellow Israelite as you love yourself. You don't want no harm, hurt, and danger coming to you, so don't bring no harm, hurt, and danger to that fellow Israelite, your brother, that neighbor, that sister, your neighbor. Go ahead.
There is none other commandment greater than these.
Christ said there is none other commandment greater than these. Wow. So you got sister Stewart that's next door to you, that's of your people, your nation, your kindred, your blood, a fellow Israelite according to the flesh. You see that she got 6 or 7 kids and you're not going to help her? You being a bastard, an evil bastard, to let your sister suffer and she of your people. How hard is it for you to get something from the store or grab something out of your refrigerator and help that sister make a meal? We do it all the time here. When we have feasts and whatnot, everybody try to bring something. And whoever don't got it, or whoever ain't got the meat, don't worry about it. At the end of the feast, everybody is going to have to eat. Everybody is going to be fed. Everybody is going to be fed or either take something home if it's too much. So guess what? Nobody leaves hungry. Nobody leaves without the means to help. All right, so give me Matthew 12 and 48. Matthew 12 and 48. Don't see your people hungry. Don't see your people out there and wanting for something. Come on, you better than that. We better than that. If we don't show each other love, guess what the Most High going to do? He'll destroy us. He'll destroy us. And guess what? If the Most High destroy your wicked behind for not loving your brother and sister, guess what? It is a righteous thing. But in order to not have the Most High bring destruction upon you, love your brother and sister. Any questions?
Not us.
All right.
Matthew 12 and 48, sir.
Matthew 12 and 48.
Matthew 12 and 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren?
So this is Christ asking the question, because the people was up there, talking about, oh, at the time, let me see God, let me see Christ. And, they was bringing up about Christ's mother, Christ's father, talk about, yeah, Mary is your mother, Mary is your mother. But guess what? That fake Christian church out there celebrates Mary. That fake Christian church out there celebrates a white Jesus Christ. But guess what? Christ is going to say this. Read on. Who is?
But this is Matthew 12 and 49. And he stretched forth.
No, 48. Who is?
Oh, Salaki, sir. Who is my mother? And who are my brethren?
So Christ said, who is my mother? Who are my brethren? How do you know that you are Christ's mother or you are his brethren? Go ahead.
And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren.
So Christ stretched forth his hand and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. He was talking to Christ and the rest of Israel. He was not talking to the whole world, according to Isaiah 45 and 17 and Acts 2 and 21. That word world, which means age of society, which is Israel, and that whomsoever is Israel. So he said, whomsoever, he said, behold, my mother and my brethren, pointing to all the 12 tribes of Israel.
Sir.
Go ahead.
Matthew 12 and 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven.
For whosoever, still talking about Israel, Acts 2 and 21, that whomsoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven. How you going to do the will of the Father, which are these laws, statutes, commandments, if you wasn't given them? Only Israel was given these laws, statutes, commandments, the will of the Most High, according to Psalm 147, 19 and 20. Go ahead.
The same is my brother and sister and mother.
Christ said the same is my brother and sister and mother. So if you are going to do these laws, statutes, commandments, which only Israel can do, that is his mother. That is his brethren. That is his sister. That's what Christ was talking about, those 12 tribes. Nobody else. The Christian church needs to stop taking that feel-good drug and get off of drugs. That's what Commanding General Yohanna been doing, getting us out of that wicked Christian church, getting us up off that good feeling, which is that music playing, that jumping around, that bucking with those same demons in that Christian church, and bringing us into righteousness in the I.S.U.P.K according to these law, statute, commandments. Because the Christian church cannot tell you that they are doing good, because why? They just celebrated Father's Day. When the hell your father not your father? As long as your father put that sperm in your mother and had relations, that is your father. So to celebrate that and make your father out of an idol on Father's Day is wicked as hell. And you can find that in Amos 5:21-23. We don't know these scriptures just to know them or just to have something to talk about. We know these scriptures because we live them. We don't celebrate these wicked holidays. We honor our mother and father by doing these law, statute, commandments as the Bible has said, as the Most High has commanded, as Christ has commanded. Any more?
Live, sir.
All right. Give me Hebrews 13:1.
I got you.
Go ahead.
Hebrews 13:1. Let brotherly love continue.
Let what?
Brotherly love continue.
No, hate your brother.
Brotherly love.
No, put your brother in a situation.
Let brotherly love continue.
No, cast your brother to the side and call him a fool.
Let brotherly love continue.
The scriptures say, let brotherly love continue, which means as long as you live, you are going to love your brother and let brotherly love continue. As long as you are alive, you are going to let brotherly love continue by loving that sister, and that sister love that other sister, and not be jealous, vengeful, or hateful. Give me 2 Peter 1:7. 2 Peter 1:7. This Bible is all about love, but for who? For Israel, for those 12 tribes. Christ been saying it from cover to cover, all throughout the New Testament. The Most High been saying that he loves us from cover to cover, all throughout the Old Testament. So what is the problem, Israel? Come on, contention and strife has got to stop if we are going to be kings and priests on this earth, as the Most High have commanded us to be. And how we going to do that? We're going to do that with love of the Most High in Christ through the scriptures, through the commandments and the orders that they gave us. First Peter 1:7, Baba Kushal. I mean, Salaki. 2 Peter 1:7.
2 Peter 1:7. And to godliness, brotherly kindness.
And to what?
Godliness, brotherly kindness.
How you going to know what is very, very holy and godly unto the Most High? It said, and to godly what?
Brotherly kindness.
You know what's holy and good to the Most High? By showing brotherly kindness. There ain't no other way. How you going to help your brother out if you hate him? But you're going to show your brother that brotherly kindness. And there's going to be a time very soon that you can't hate your brother, because why? You're going to have to help your brother survive. Check this out. If everything in the city, wherever you at, get cut completely off, and yet you have resources, are you going to let your brother next door starve to death? Or are you going to give and have that brother share with you and you share with him to survive? Don't be a damn demon and let your brother starve to death or die because he don't have something. You give to that brother, because guess what? That brother return the favor and brotherly kindness and will help you out. Come on, I'm gonna tell you, it's plenty of times I didn't have. It's plenty of times brother came to my aid, and guess what? When they need me, I'm here. Whether it's for class, whether it's to travel somewhere, I don't care if I don't have a car. Guess what? I got a bus pass. I can find my way, and that's being 100% real. If a brother asks me to get somewhere and he tied up, and I know that I got a bus pass, a monthly bus pass at that, to get to that brother, I'll get on the bus, no matter what time of night it is. If that brother needs to talk to me, I'm up all times of night with my phone on. I don't care if the damn phone burn out tomorrow. Guess what? I'm gonna talk to my brother when he called me 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Even though I'm the only one in my house, if I got extra food and I'm the only one living at my place, guess what? That brother needs some chicken or something, or some meat or something, or some bread. That brother can call me up and I'll give it to him. I'll sacrifice so that my brother can be okay. And that's showing brotherly love. Not because he needed it, he could just want it. And guess what? I share with that brother. Because lots of times that brother shared with me, and I didn't even ask him or tell that brother I was in need. And that brother gave me. And that's showing love, that action. Mm-hmm. Any more?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And to brotherly kindness, charity.
And to brotherly kindness, charity. That means you give that brother something and expecting nothing in return. Go ahead.
For if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ.
It says, for if these things be in you, that brotherly kindness, that charity, if that be in you and abound, it says that make you, ye neither shall be barren or unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah. So you're going to be very fruitful, and you're going to be very, very knowledgeable in the wisdom of the Most High in Christ if you do as they say. Christ said, give that brother if he don't have. Visit that brother if he in jail. Call that brother if he lonely. Visit that brother if he needs some company. Show that brother love when he don't have nothing at all. Give that brother a couple of dollars you can spare to put in that brother's pocket so he won't end up in a situation. You never know. But guess what? We have to be here for each other because the world hates us. But guess what? It hated Christ. It hated the Most High first. Because why? The Most High chose us, these 12 tribes, out of everybody on the face of the planet and made us holy unto him. So guess what? For us to continue to be holy, we got to show love to one another. This world is a bastard to the 12 tribes. This world is evil to the 12 tribes. But guess what? You being a brother and sister unto each other and unto Christ and children of the Most High, don't be a bastard one towards another. Give me Romans 12 and 10. Because guess what? Me, myself, personally speaking, I could have ended up in any kind of situation. But because of love, a brother had showed me when I first came into the truth, that's the love that I'm showing every other brother that came up after me. I don't care what rank you are. I don't care what tribe you're from. I don't care where in the world you come from. As long as you those 12 tribes, it is required by Christ that I show you that love. And guess what? It don't even have to be required. I am going to show it. Because that's what a good brother does for another brother. I lift my brothers up because why? They lift me up. They encourage me. Guess what? I came back a second time into this truth. And because of that love and that influence that brother had on me and showed me that love, I'm able to show that brother love no matter how many times I was hurt. I'm able to show my brother's love for when that brother back in my past of getting the truth the first time showed me love. And I ain't even got to speak the brother name, but there's too many brothers to name that showed me love. I'm glad because my brother over there laughing too. Romans, like Romans 12 and 10.
Come on, sir. Romans 12 and 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another.
It says what?
Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love.
It says be kindly affectionate one towards another with what?
Brotherly love.
With brotherly love. That means you're going to be true and faithful to that brother and sister by showing them the love that they showed you. Everything ain't going to be copacetic or great or at ease 24/7. You're gonna get in arguments. You're gonna get in little disagreements. Ain't gonna see eye to eye here and there. But guess what? Christ said to show that brotherly love, to show that sisterly love one towards another. That's one of the biggest ways we're gonna get out of this hell, by showing each other that love. Look how many are in the truth now in the I.S.U.P.K. It started with a few brothers and spread it out to countless brothers and sisters in the truth now, because of that love, that brotherly love, that sisterly love, all over the world.
Come on, sir.
That's that love that Christ's been talking about. I can be in Trinidad. I can be in Tobago or Tobago, however they pronounce it. I can be in Jamaica. I can be in Panama and Guatemala, Argentina and Chile. And I can go Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah. That salute, according to Romans 16 and 16. That holy kiss, that salute. Not how the Christian church do it, kissing each other on the mouth and the cheek. Highly nasty. But that salute. How I saluted that brother gonna show me love by saluting me back. No matter where in the world I am. Now I'm in. Showing that brother that love. Saluting that brother. Honoring and respecting that brother. Because rank and order is just to keep that. Rank and order. But that love is forever. Shoot, when we had the Feast of First Fruits yesterday, it was a lot of brothers who ain't seen me speak in that town for a while, but guess what? When they came here, it was like I never left. It was like I never had to come back home and do the work here. I can go to New York right now, and guess what? It'll be a brother there that'll salute me like I salute him. That's love. Man, stop hating on your brother and sister. Stop hating each other because of little disagreements and arguments. Life is too short for that crap. Shoot, brothers done love me so much. Man, I'm telling you, even if I had a little something with me today, I can be like, you know what? Let me call a brother up and get the wisdom on this. And guess what? That brother is available. I'm telling you. And that's why I brag about my brothers and my sister in the I.S.U.P.K very often. Because why? That love is there. I brag about my brothers and sisters to my biological brothers and sisters. You don't think so? You can ask any of them. Give me Matthew 18 and 15. Matthew 18 and 15. And this Christ telling you how to settle indifference between you and your brother, or you and your sister, or anybody in the nation of Israel, in the I.S.U.P.K. Christ is going to tell you how to handle a situation if you have a disagreement or argument, or if a brother and sister offend you. Christ gives you the tools. The only thing for you to do is to do as you were told and follow the commandments and go to that brother and sister like you're supposed to. Get Matthew 18 and 15.
Matthew 18 and 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee,
It says, moreover, if that brother shall trespass against thee, if that brother or sister go ahead and offends you, or they do something that's not to your liking, or you done heard something, you don't go and get off the cuff and talk about that brother and sister ain't this and ain't that and this and this. Stop the gospel. Stop acting like a BI, you know what. Go to that brother personally and discuss it with them. That's love, where you can go to them and discuss it instead of getting off the cuff and up there backbiting, gossiping, doing like the Christian churches do. But go to that brother and sister if they offend you or trespass against you. Go ahead.
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Go and tell him his fault between him and thee alone. Which means if you got a problem with the brother, if you got a problem with the sister, you go to them and thee alone, pull them to the side and discuss what had happened. But they, like I said, they might have not have even known that they had offended you. So it's the righteous thing to do, like Christ commanded, to go to their brother and sister and pull them aside and be like, hey, I got something to get off my chest. Can I discuss it with you over here? Don't have no third party right then and there. Go between you and that brother or you and that sister alone. Go ahead.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
If they shall what?
Hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
If they gave you an ear so that they can hear you and y'all can sort it out, guess what? You had gained that brother. You had gained that sister. You ain't there fighting. You ain't there talking about what you're going to do all up in each other's face. You have gained that brother and sister by talking it out. The scriptures ain't saying nothing about putting your hands on somebody if you have a disagreement. Christ said to righteously go to that brother and that sister and talk it out and discuss it like real men and women, like the priests and prophets of the Most High that we supposed to be. Go ahead.
But if 16, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more.
But if he will not hear thee, if he don't want to give you an ear to listen to, and he still disagreeing with you, it says, take with thee one or two more. That means you got witnesses now that's instrumental in this knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the Bible. So they're going to be witness unto you of what was said. They're going to bring accountability and wisdom of what had happened. Go ahead.
That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses may be established. So everything that is said can be accounted for. And yeah, he said this, and this was done, and blah, blah, blah. Go ahead.
Is that the same as like counsel?
Yeah, that is exactly what it is. It's counsel. That means you're not going into your own mind trying to sort out stuff. You're not going to fight somebody. You're not up on somebody's doorstep. Talk about, why don't you come outside? You actually go into that brother and sister and pull them to the side and say, I got something to get off my chest. Let me discuss it with you. Come on, come over here. Everybody don't need to hear this because this is between me and you. Let's talk it out. That's how it's supposed to be, not to be ending up on World Star or Hip Hop Live or whatever the social media is. But to go to that brother and sister alone. Go ahead.
17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church, which means get righteous counsel. That means you didn't want to listen to him. You still got an issue with that brother. You're going to counsel now. First, you're going in front of counsel, in front of that captain. Then you're going to counsel in front of the generals. Then if the generals can't still solve between y'all, then you're going in front of Commanding Gen.YAHANNA and General Mahina. That's righteous counsel right there. And you do not want it to go that far up. Because guess what? Everything is going to be laid out on the table why this had happened in the first place. Why y'all having a disagreement. Why y'all up there get ready to throw fisticuffs. Because you understood not the situation. Because you was in your own mind and not after the heart of the Most High in Christ. We're not having that foolishness up in here. If you want to be like the Christian church, go. I.S.U.P.K still won't be here. The righteous men of the Most High in Christ still won't be here. That's because we're going to show each other love and do as these commandments say. Time check, Uncle Shaw. All right. So all these scriptures that was brought out today was showing you how you should act, how you should proceed about going, how you should do to your brother and sister, not acting like somebody from another nation. You know how disheartening and sad that it is when you turn on the news and because somebody had an argument, the other person was shot, and then to find out not only relatives, but they used to chill together, hang together. Why you want your mug shot up in the police station? Why you want to be on the news running from the law? Because you can't sell it the right way. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time to be up there fighting one another. We got too many other nations to fight. We got 17 other nations to fight in righteousness. We ain't got time for that foolishness. Come on. Being a brother and sister is the greatest thing you could ever be to another man or woman out here. We got a job to do. We got lives to save. We got brothers and sisters to lift up. We got situations to put out. And we got the name of the Most High to raise. We got Christ to honor, who is our King. We ain't got time for the dumb, foolish things of the world. Because guess what? The things of the world is foolishness with the Most High. Rudiments and philosophies are vain deceit. That's the Christian church that are not the Most High. The way that the Christian church do stuff, how to settle an argument by hating on one another. That's why Acts 7:48 says, the Most High does not dwell in churches made by man's hands. The Most High in Christ is not with the churches. The Most High in Christ is with those of the I.S.U.P.K. Right. That's why we have these cookouts. That's why we show our community, our neighborhood love. Because we are the love that we should be showing our brothers and sisters. When they see the example that we are showing out of the Bible, out of these scriptures, and we live it, that's how we prove that man is a liar and not the Most High in Christ. So does anybody have any questions or needs to know anything? It can be, at this time, I'm taking questions. Because this is how we should be acting as a nation of people that the Most High have chose. Not how the world wants to see us, or the so-called white man wants to label us as thugs, criminals, super predators. Go ahead.
Breakdown of Job 12:6-8.
Oh, my favorite. Oh, I love that scripture. I usually bring that out at the speaking too. Because we have a school at 3428 Eastern Avenue, classes from 7 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And you know, this is one of my favorite scriptures, Job 12:6. Oh, I love that scripture. And this tell you about the characteristic of someone that's on this earth who is so damn wicked. Somebody read it for me.
Job 12:6. The tabernacles of robbers prosper.
It says in Job 12:6, the tabernacles of robbers prosper. A tabernacle is a place of worship. And it says of robbers prosper. Who is robbing our own people the most but the so-called white man who has taught your black pastors and preachers on how to rob you and lead you in deceit? Matter of fact, hold that and get it. Should be John 12. It should be John 24:24.
said John 24 and 24?
Yeah, I think so. Either John 24 and 24. So I can. Oh, Matthew 24 and 24. It's Matthew 24 and 24.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Matthew 24 and 24.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Matthew 24 and 24. For there shall arise false Christs.
It says, for there shall arise what?
False Christs.
Talk about your pastor and preacher up there supposed to be preaching in the name of the Most High and Christ. It said, for there shall arise false Christ. Some of these pastors and preachers up here in these big elaborate churches ain't teaching you to teach the righteous things of the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So there shall arise false Christ, which are your pastor and preachers, and the so-called white man showing himself as God and as Christ. Go ahead.
And false prophets.
And false prophets. Those false prophets are those in the Christian, Baptist, or any religious denominational church right now. Go ahead.
And shall show great signs and wonders.
And shall show great signs and wonders. Talk about they can raise the dead. They can get a demon off somebody. They can heal the sick if they're in their bed. Give them miracle water. That's false signs and wonders. Go ahead.
In so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So Christ said, if it was possible to deceive the very elect, talk about those that's in the I.S.U.P.K, that's teaching this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Bible. If it was possible, which means it's not, if you are totally into the law, statutes, commandments that Christ and the Most High have gave Israel, you the very elect who the Most High have chose, you are not going to be deceived. But go back to Job 12 and 6. So that's what it's talking about in Job 12 and 6. The tabernacles, the robbers, prosper, talk about those big elaborate Christian, Baptist, or religious denominational churches that your black pastor and preachers been robbing you for eons and centuries, taking grandma's social security check, taking the last of your money that you had to feed the kids, leave you poor and almost worthless to where they ride and buy you in a Maserati in a brand new car while you up there catching a bus or taking a hack to church. Go ahead. And they that provoke God are secure.
And they that what?
Provoke God are secure.
And they that provoke God are secure. Which means these black pastors and preachers in these churches are deceiving themselves, thinking that they are secure. Why do you think the Most High send them destruction? Look what happened to Eddie Long up there filming on them little boys. And what happened to him? The Most High killed him because the Most High is a gangster. He tell you, just like Creflo Dollar, just like Benny Hinn, just like those TV priests, those Christian pastors on TV up there telling you, no, you don't have to keep the law, statutes, commandments. How foolish are you? If the Most High says to do something, that means it is etched in stone. That means you ought to do them according to Matthew 5 and 17 to 19, because guess what? Hold that and give me Matthew 5 and 19. Somebody give me Matthew 5 and 19. These goddamn pastors and preachers on the TV, they got these big elaborate churches are out there, got their mind telling you not to do the law, statute, commandments. This is what the Most High said about that. Somebody read it for me, publicly so.
Matthew 5 and 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
It says, whosoever shall break one of these least commandments, which means that these black pastors and preachers in the churches are teaching you to break even the littlest commandment. Go ahead.
And shall teach men so.
And shall what?
Teach men so.
And shall teach men so. They teach you that you don't have to do the law, statutes, commandments, or, oh, that was the Old Testament. Don't you know that Christ said, I come in the volume of a book that is written of me, which is Isaiah 40 and 15, and Hebrews, Salaki, which is Isaiah 40. Well, Christ said, Salaki, I forgot my thought, but Christ said, for lo, I come in the volume of a book, which means the Old Testament and the New Testament. Christ telling you to keep the commandments. Because guess what? Matthew 5:19 is Christ telling you to keep the commandments. But it's saying, shall break one of these least commandments, go ahead.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
That pastor and preacher that's in that church teaching you how to be wicked, because you can read about all of that in Romans 1:25-32. All the stuff that they do wickedly in the Christian church, in the Baptist church, in these religious churches, guess what? And they teaching you to do so, guess what? You're just as wicked as them. And guess what? The Most High is telling you that these pastors and preachers going to be what?
The least in the kingdom of heaven.
They are going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. Guess what? They are going to be shining shoes. They are going to be cleaning the excrement out of the toilet. They are going to be giving your horses, making your horses horseshoes. They are going to be cleaning the crap out in the street. They are going to be the garbage men. Because why? They have told you to do what?
He shall break one of these least commandments.
They are teaching you to keep not the commandments. So they are going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. Go back to Job 12:6.
Job 12:6. Into whose hand God bringeth abundantly.
Into whose hand God bringeth abundantly. So guess what? Them teaching you to not keep the law, statutes, and commandments, because they accumulated all this money abundantly, got this grand church. Guess what? They don't know one goddamn law. They don't know one goddamn commandment. Nor do they teach it. And if they do know them, guess what? They is just as wicked as who they tell them to not keep. It's wicked as hell in the Christian church. Men sleep with men. Women sleep with women. The Christian pastor and preacher sleeping with everybody in the church, getting people pregnant, trying to hide it, trying to tell women to abort their children, which is wicked as hell. Jamal Brown homosexual behind when they hit and ran to Atlanta. Guess why? So he can be with other soft caresses and touches of men. But guess what? The Most High said not to be a homosexual. Leviticus 20:13. So guess what? If the LGBT have a problem with God's laws, you are going to get it very quickly and very soon. Read on.
12:7 of Job. But ask now the beast, and they shall teach thee.
It says, but now ask the beast, and they shall teach thee. Why do you think the animals are crying out? Why do you think the animals are attacking the so-called white man? Because they in pain. Because what does the so-called white man do? He becomes the big game hunter and kills them for sport. He don't use none of the rest of the carcass of the animal, but he hangs up just the head as a trophy. He killed the great animal. And what? Have a picture with them just because he wanted to show his power. He used everything of the beast except for the body. Leave the head there so he can say, see what I can do? Like a goddamn child. Esau is a child. He is a nation of no people, like the Bible has said in Genesis, as he said in Deuteronomy. He is a people of no people. He's not the greatest thing on earth. He ain't, I don't even want to say the word. Esau ain't nothing. Because the Most High said what? In Malachi 1:1-2, in Romans 9:13, I love Jacob, which are those 12 tribes. Those are Negro, Indian, Hispanic descent. But he said, but I hated Esau, which is the so-called white man on the planet. Go ahead.
And the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee.
Ask the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Ask the fowls of the air why the bald eagle going extinct. Because the so-called white man is polluting the air and killing them. Go ahead. So say one more time. One more time, because I can't hear.
Dodo bird.
Exactly. Look at the dodo bird, like the brother had brought out, the water, that went extinct because the so-called white man was hunting them into extinction. Some of the animals that's here on earth right now is going to extinction because why? Big game hunter Esau. The Most High had brought out his characteristics, saying that Esau was a cunning hunter of the field. That means a big game hunter. hunting all the animals in the world and making the animals extinct. So that's why the animals attacking them every chance they get, because they angry, just like the Most High is angry. Go ahead.
Just like a child, sir. He hunted to damn their extinction and then established a foundation for you to send money to save.
Exactly, the Water Brothers. The so-called white man puts out a foundation, what is it called? The WWF now, the World Wildlife Foundation. And guess what? Donate money to that. What's another one? PETA. They tired of you wearing the furs, but guess what? How you think the white man getting those furs in order to establish fake furs? Because he done hunted them to extinction. Go ahead.
The white rhino, I think he was getting sick money, but now he's extinct and they just got all that money for nothing.
Exactly. Look at the white rhino. They done hunted that into extinction. Because guess what? The so-called white man, the Africans, was up there using their tusks for medicinal purposes to try to make their penises hard. Why do you think these rare animals are going extinct? The Most High made animals, a lot of animals that you haven't been even discovered yet, or been noticed. And the Most High ain't gonna let them discover these animals, because why? The white man wants to hunt them into extinction. And these other nations making a profit off of these animals also. Go ahead.
Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee.
And speak to the earth, and it shall what?
Teach thee.
And it shall teach thee. Look at all the pollution happening in the earth. Why do you think you ain't got no clean water now? Look at Flintwood, Michigan. Ain't had water for how long now? And the so-called white man got the knowledge and wisdom in that to go ahead and make clean water, but he won't, because he the damn devil of the earth 24/7. He's the so-called goddamn devil of the earth that the Bible has spoke of. Go ahead.
In one of those rich counties, Colorado, somewhere where they even charge you to collect water. With rainwater, and they collect in the barrels.
Exactly.
They filter it out.
Exactly. That's a good point. They charge you a rain tax. How the hell is the so-called white man charging you a rain tax for water that the Most High give you from out the sky that is free? Show you how much he is a goddamn devil. He the one tormenting the earth. Because you go to Job 9:24, it says the earth is given to what? The hands of the wicked. Go ahead.
The fishes of the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee.
And it says, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Why do you think the fish is jumping out of the water? Ain't no oxygen in the water from the so-called white man pollutant. Ain't no oxygen in the water that the chemical runoff from the so-called white man process the plants going into the rivers, lakes, and ocean. And guess what? The fish can't breathe, so guess what? They jump out of the water to get some air on land, which they know fish can't live on land, because guess what? They breathe oxygen from the water and not from the land, not from the air of the land. So the fishes are being tormented. Why do you think it's so much shark attacks now? Because even the Most High make the sharks angry by the sharks going ahead and chomping up the so-called white man. When the sharks chomp a so-called white man and look at him as a tasty, delicious snack, even their goddamn children, guess what? Barakatah Yahweh, I'm clapping for that. Because guess what? It's not too many of us that want to go out to the deep sea and hunt for anything. And we can't get it from our local market, or we can't raise something ourselves. Guess what? We're not going out there to the deep, dark, thick wilderness and hunt for it. Go ahead.
Real quick, 30 seconds. It was one of those storms, tsunamis, or whatever the Most High brought to them. And I seen a picture from up top of a helicopter with damn sharks swimming down the middle of the street. So if they ain't got to go out to them, we bring them to them.
Exactly.
In the middle of the street.
Exactly. Some of them tornadoes that be happening, they got animals caught up in them. They got sharks. They got all kinds of fish and stuff that will eat you that's in them tornadoes. That's how the so-called white man made that movie Sharknado too. From that, because it's a real event that happened.
I seen pictures of it on the internet. I seen a shark, a big behind shark swimming in the middle of somebody's street. Like we out here across the street, right in the middle.
Exactly. The Most High bring them sharks tasty, white, delicious snacks. Thank the Most High Christ for that. Them chucks gonna eat good in the neighborhood, and it ain't even Applebee's. Golly, the Most High is amazing. The Most High is showing you what not to do. Matter of fact, go to Jeremiah 10:2. Go to Jeremiah 10:2, because the Most High get ready to tell you something. Jeremiah 10:2.
Got it.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah 10:2. 1 second. All right. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
What did the Most High say?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
The Most High said, learn not the way of the what?
The heathen.
Of the other nations. The Most High said to learn not the way of the other nations. Don't be celebrating the wicked holidays. Don't be doing as they do. Don't talk, don't walk, don't think like they do. Don't pollute the earth. The North American Indians and our people, we took care of the earth. We respected what the Most High gave us. But guess what? When the so-called white man came in power, guess what? Ever since they went to the moon in 1969 to try to defy the Most High in Christ, the Most High been bringing them down and showing us his wickedness of what not to do after these other nations, and especially the so-called white man. Go ahead.
What year was that, sir?
1969.
What else started in 1969?
Matter of fact, go to Obadiah, should be 1 and 7, if I'm not mistaken.
I was making a point, sir.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
1969.
God, go to Obadiah 1 and 7. Because this is showing you why Job 12 and 6 on down says this.
Obadiah 1 and 7.
Yeah, let me get that first.
Oh, sir.
Hold on. I got it. Yeah, go to Obadiah.
1 and 4.
Yeah, 1 and 4.
Obadiah 1 and 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
What did the Most High say?
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
This is talking about Obadiah. And Obadiah is talking about the so-called white man, because in the first verse it said, the vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord God concerning Edom. Edom in Hebrew is Adawam, which means red. And when you go to Genesis 25 and 25, it describes Esau as being red and hairy all over like a garment. The original caveman, the Caucasian, which means cave dweller. Go ahead.
Also redneck.
Exactly. The white it means redneck. It means redneck country boy. It means golly. That's what it means. Them so-called white supremacists. It says, let me get my words right. Though thou thyself as the eagle, which means what has been the symbol of America or the symbol of the so-called white man? The eagle. He been the Romans. He been the Romans. He been the Greeks and all these other white nations. It says, though thou thyself as the eagle. Go ahead.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars. Talk about his space program. He think he wiser than God. He gonna fight God with his Star Wars space program. But guess what? He is going to fail when he see those angels, those 40 leagues of angels come and put his ass slacking and put his behind under subjection. Go ahead.
This will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
This will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Ever since he tried to go to the moon in 1969, guess what? He been coming down ever since then because he want to put himself up as God, up as Christ, up as the righteous people of God. And with that, go ahead, real quick.
Also, I was saying that's the same year I.S.U.P.K started.
Exactly, 1969 is the same year that the I.S.U.P.K started. And we are the I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We've been teaching this truth since 1969. I am a priest and officer of 1,000 Kabar dies. Yeah, we're gonna turn this class over right now to Precinct Officer 500, Natazal, and he's going to read the announcements.
We are the I.S.U.P.K, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Gen.YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed their soul of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory.
That means pay your tithes, Baba Kashar.
Right. Free offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy event, the Midwest Cookout. We got the Midwest Cookout. It's kicking off July 4th, I believe. That Thursday in July, I think it's the 3rd, the GEN.YAHANNA class.
Exactly.
It's going to be a fire weekend. Check the school for further details. Or check on ISUPK.com for further details. Remind Acumen Aquaman to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and material. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which include black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, we're going to give one courteous salute to the teachers. Men of Israel, Amani Shabbat, Amadi, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Dud.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Thumb.
Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.